The situation seems to be very, very sensitive. 165 arrests have been made so far in the Haryana violence, but no answers as to why the situation was allowed to escalate from Nuh to Sona to Ballabgarh and to Gurugram. What is going to be the political fallout of the communal violence in Haryana? Joining me now is Congress leader and Rajya Sabha MP, Deepender Hooda. Thank you so much, Deepen, for joining on the federal. And my first question to you is that what you think is going to be the immediate fallout of what has happened in Nuh, Sona, Ballabgarh and Gurugram? Yes.
See, first of all, what has happened in Haryana is most unfortunate and most painful for all of us Haryanvis to see, because Haryana has not had history of communal flare-ups. In fact, we were part of joint Punjab, which had seen a lot of bloodshed even during the partition. But this particular region of Mewat, Gurgaon belt had remained largely peaceful. Even then, it was represented by Maulana Azad in the parliament at that point of time. So, we've not had a history of such communal tensions, and it's most unfortunate. Now, having said that, this is a situation which was totally avoidable. Entirely, it is government's complete failure which has led to what happened. A procession was supposed to take place. Such processions have taken place in the past. The most important preventive measure that the government has to take is to provide adequate police cover and deploy adequate policemen on that route so that any confrontation between two communities can be avoided at any cost. That the government failed to do. Government has no answer for that. There are things that the Chief Minister and our Home Minister saying, such as they've said that it's a pre-planned. It's not something which happened on the spot. It was a pre-planned conspiracy. Okay, we take your word for it. But if it was pre-planned, what did you do about it? Because there's no investigation. You already are saying pre-planned. So of course, without investigation, if you're saying pre-planned, so you knew about it, or you did not know about it. If it was pre-planned, but you have no knowledge of it, then what was your CID department doing? Now the CID department is with Mr. Khattar. Or if the CID department had given you a input that something was going to happen, then what was your police doing? Police department is with Mr. Vich. So in both cases, the government cannot hide away from giving an answer. Fact of the matter is that the ground level police personnel have told certain media channels who have gone there and did these investigative stories that the intelligence officers did provide an input about 10 days back saying that there is a chance of a communal flare-up, but the police personnel are saying that they were not given any instructions to act. So, somewhere down the line that intelligence input got lost, whether the Chief Minister office or the Home Minister office, that's for the investigation to show. But what it is, government completely let us down. But at the moment, I appeal to all the Haryana citizens to come forward, do whatever they can, be a responsible citizen on the social media, on their normal conversations with people. Let us contribute to in creating an atmosphere of social harmony for which Haryana has been known for, and let government take all the steps that government now at least can take to ensure that there is no further damage.
But Deepen, do you suspect some kind of a conspiracy and something which meets more than the eye? Because, and why I'm asking you is because Rao Inderjeet, in fact, has been speaking to the media and he's been saying that, the police failed and he is a BJP minister. Similarly, Dushyant Chautala has been raising questions why the police did not act. Yes.
So Rao Inderjeet has gone on to say that he was how in the procession weapons and such sticks, weapons, swords, etc. were being allowed to be carried. And he had also gone on to say that he's suspecting pre-planned sort of thing on both the sides, that they were from both the sides build up and everything. Also, what he has gone on to say that there were certain videos which were circulating in the local public. He's being local MP from there, that were in public knowledge. So even you did not need a CID input or intelligence input. There were some certain social media videos which were getting circulated, building up to the communal tension, and that's why the government should have provided certain police deployment. All those questions he has put out. The government has to answer to those questions. Similarly, Dushyant Chautala said that the organizers did not inform of either the scale or the exact route that they were going to take. So that's why the administration could not. So these are also the questions the government has to answer. So there are many questions the government absolutely has to answer. We demand from the government, first, take adequate measures, whatever now you can. No further damage is done and social harmony normalcy is restored. 2, take utmost action against all those who have contributed to this riot-like situation. Spare no one. Anybody who has participated in rioting, any rioter, or anybody who's involved in planning of this riot, or anybody who has instigated this riot by means of putting out a video or an inflammatory speech or talk, nobody should be spared. Exemplary punishment should be given to each and every person so that a message goes out that anybody who disturbs law and order situation in Haryana will not be spared. And thirdly, we demand that investigation headed by at least a high court sitting judge should be conducted into what were the lapses by the government on the government side. Because not just taking action against riots we want. We also want the lapses on the part of government to be thoroughly exposed. And that investigation should be as much as possible in the current constitutional setup. It should be a independent investigation. It can't be an investigation by a government agency only. It has to be monitored by either High Court or Supreme Court, but at least in High Court is what we are demanding.
But Deepan, do you suspect that, this is just a continuing chapter of what we have seen in Manipur? Haryana, is it just a continuation of Manipur? Yes.
Haryana, well, at the end of 9.5 years of the BJP government in center, one would have hoped that the government and its leaders, including the Prime Minister, would take the floor of the House and Parliament and say that, look, after 9.5 years, the country is going through this period of peace, prosperity, aman, chain, khushhali. But, when you look at the fault lines that are appearing from every nook and corner of the country every day, then you ask yourselves what this tenure has done for our country in terms of, has it taken forward, or is it something that the government should introspect?
You've seen Haryana politics very, very closely. And what I want to ask you is that what is your suspicion? Is BJP trying to instigate violence and then protest over the same violence?
See, this is a question for the investigative agencies to look at and answer. One thing that is for sure is that what happened in Haryana happened because of acute administrative lapse on part of the government. Complete government failure of not being able to provide, any the proper security. In fact, even some of the VHP, I was looking at one of the VHP leaders was saying that every year in past at least 2,000 to 3,000 police personnel were deployed on this route, but this time he said that in his words that less than, I don't think even 500 were provided. So now this is a complete government failure. Government should let us know why that happened. And rest is basically will be part of an investigation, that how this failure took place, at what level this failure took place, was there any political angle to this, or was it just so that those are the questions that a fair and free investigation can answer.
But what is the answer to this hate politics and this divisive politics? All of a sudden, the entire focus now is on the communal card of BJP. What would you really say, Deepen? What is the India Alliance? What are the India Alliance?
So unfortunate. It's also unfortunate. Yes. See, now let me give you another dimension to this. Gurgaon has emerged, and especially it emerged during the 10 years of Hooda government in Haryana, has emerged as one of the favorite investment destinations for all the MNCs, and more than almost all of the Fortune 500 companies are having their presence in Haryana. If not their Indian headquarters, at least they are having their presence in Gurgaon. And millions of youngsters are finding their good job opportunities, future avenues, and Gurgaon is coming up, and we would like it to compete with tomorrow, investment destinations such as those in Middle East like Dubai or Europe, but all that has been possible based on such a development is only possible on the foundation of peace, harmony, and law and order that the investment can take for granted, that the law and order situation will always remain good. So that's a dimension that anybody who wants to do politics over such things need to consider what is in national interest. Today, Fortune 500 companies from across the globe, from America to Europe to Japan.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough what you're saying. But what my point is that here you have a central government who is not answerable on Manipur, who will not be answerable on what has happened in Haryana, who will not be answerable on any issues. Whether there is a complete lack of a breakdown of law and order machinery, the government is not ready to answer. My question to you was that how will the India Alliance partners answer this kind of politics by BJP? If you have to fight elections in 2024 and this is the communal card and this is going to be the communal flare-up which is going to happen throughout the country, how will the opposition parties answer this?
See, I think what has happened in Gurgaon is a complete law and order failure situation. Chief Minister gone on to say that with 60,000 police personnel, he cannot ensure safety for all 3 crore Haryanvis. Let me tell him that if he is unable to do it, the prime responsibility of a government is to provide safety and security environment to all the citizens. And if he is unable to do, let him step aside. We will provide that environment in our state. 10 years of Congress government in Haryana, not one riot had taken place in one town or village in our state. We know how to do it. We will do it. Let him step aside. And as far as anybody trying to do politics on this line, people of this country are smart enough to see what are the real issues. Haryana is battling highest unemployment rate in the country today. Inflation has battered all the middle class and lower middle class and the poor families. Farmers have been on street protesting for 1 year. They protested, so many lives were lost. Our women are protesting, our sports persons, our wrestlers are protesting, our youngsters are protesting. Our government employees are protesting for old pension scheme. There is not a single day that one section or the other in Haryana doesn't come out on the street to protest. The government has failed miserably. So whatever they try to sell, that their life, the time period is over. After 10 years, people have realized through their real face, and you will see in Haryana, decisive change will come in Haryana. I can tell you on today, and you can save this bit that I'm going to say and play it on the day Haryana results are coming out. Decisive change is coming.
Right.
He and Mr. Khattar cannot run away from how badly they have governed Haryana for these 10 years.
Deepin, what you're saying is a large feeling that, this time BJP might lose Haryana. But many people and many political analysts are also saying that, through this Haryana violence, BJP is trying to impact the Rajasthan elections. Would you really agree that this communal violence in Haryana might have some kind of an impact to polarize the voters in Rajasthan?
No, I think, like I said, I feel that the people are now seeing through any attempts by anyone to do these kind of politics, to do this kind of politics, people are seeing through. And you will see the impact. This may actually rebound. There are people now who are saying that, questioning that what was the government's role, like the question that you asked, which I am which I said that final answer can only be provided by a fair investigation. But people are beginning to ask those questions. So I feel that this will, prove to be counterproductive on the BJP now.
But how is it going to play out caste-wise? Because there are Jats, there are Gujars, but it seems that BJP is trying to paint everything with the Hindu-Muslim politics. Now, is that going to work in Haryana and elsewhere? Because people say, and many political analysts have been saying that, you will find much more violence in the coming months in the run-up to 2024 elections.
See, there in Haryana, across sections, there is a huge anti-incumbency feelings in all sections of society, irrespective of caste, religion, creed. BJP might want to look at the electorate from the prism of caste and religion, but the people of Haryana are not looking at BJP from any other prism, but from a prism of a government which has completely, thoroughly failed.
Right.
Performing government. A government which has led to highest unemployment situation in Haryana, government which has led to one of the highest drug abuse amongst the youngster situation in Haryana, government which has led to uncontrolled inflation for people of Haryana, government which has led to lakhs of our youth trying to flee, India to find their future avenues in faraway countries because they are not able to find good opportunities in our state. A government which has led to our farmers, our government employees, our poor, our panchayat representatives, our youngsters, all sections, government which has been. So people are going to look at this election from that prism. BJP would like to slice and dice, to divide and rule. But we are not going to let it. This time, the people are not going to let it.
So you are saying in a way, then that's my last question to you, that you think that BJP's communal card will fail across the country?
I can say about Haryana for sure. Haryana, the communal card of BJP is going to fail historically. We are going to teach BJP a lesson in the state. In the rest of the country also, I would like to hope that people are aware enough now, after 10 years of this government's misrule, that things change.
Right. And one more bit on the investigation which is being carried out in the Haryana violence case. Are you happy with the way the things are being investigated? They're saying that they've made 165 arrests. But what about the actual investigative procedure? Are they following it? Are the norms?
We have little hope.
Yes.
That action will be taken. Timely action was not taken. Now we have a little hope that when the Chief Minister says that he's unable to provide security for all the citizens, he can't provide. So with such Chief Minister at the helm, we have little hope that action will be taken. That's why I demand that nobody should be spared. Not one person should be spared. And all the rioters, all those who instigated the riots through their different means, who pre-planned it or participated in any way, shape or form, everybody who has crossed the red line, even on social media,
Right.
anybody who's crossed the red line, nobody should be spared. Exemplary punishment should be given. That the government should do now.
Right. Thank you, and wish you all the best. Deepender Hooda, thank you so much for joining on the Federal. And one appeal to the viewers who are watching this interview, send us your feedback, subscribe.